There is something in your life that you keep pushing back, not because you don't care, not because you're lazy, but because waiting has started to feel like the right decision. And that's what I want to talk about today. Not fear, something quieter. Why staying still can feel responsible. I'm Fabiola, and this is Waiting Isn't Working. Sometimes not moving doesn't feel like avoidance, it feels like discipline. It sounds more like I just want to do it right. I need more time. Or in my case, I need more research. And all of that sounds reasonable. And that's why it works. Because you don't question it, you trust it. And slowly, without noticing, the thing you said mattered most keeps moving lower and lower until it becomes something you'll get to do when everything else is done. The problem is, everything else is never done. So here's what most people believe they think fear is the problem. I used to think that too. That feeling, your heart racing, overthinking, questioning everything about yourself. And yes, fear is real. It shows up. But here's what's interesting fear doesn't stay long, it shows up in your body. And if you move, it starts to quiet down. What I realized is that fear and movement can coexist. You can be absolutely terrified and still move. Hold on to that. Because what keeps you still is something else. It convinces you that staying still is the smart choice, the responsible choice. And the longer you stay still, the more normal it feels. Until one day you forget you were ever meant to be moving. You didn't lose the desire, you simply learn how to live without acting on it. At some point, there has to be a decision, not a perfect plan. You don't need one, not the right moment, not full clarity either. Just a decision to move anyway. And the moment when you finally move, that moment doesn't feel how you expect. It feels more like a punch in the stomach. How do I know that? Well, that's how I felt the first time I pressed publish. That's what moving feels like. Not heroic, not clean, but real. And what you start to notice, the more you move, the less fear stays. It doesn't disappear, but it stops leading. And what's left is something you've been calling something else this whole time. Something that sounded responsible. Something that felt right. Procrastination. And sometimes it sounds so reasonable, you don't even question it. So let me ask you something. What in your life have you made sound reasonable? What are you still calling not yet? Is it in your notes app, your journal, on your vision board perhaps? Whatever it is, you've been ready for it. longer than you admit. Because at some point, it stops being about timing and it becomes a decision. And if you're still waiting, you already made one. If you made it this far, thank you for staying with me. I'll see you in the next one. Because procrastination is not the boss. You are.